Hello. Hello there, rainmakers. I just want to say hi and say hi when you jump on. Let me just quickly introduce myself since you may not know me. My name is Brittany Metke Powers. I am currently a Ruby National Executive with Color Street. I joined Color Street in July of 2017. My team is in the top 10. We have about 35,000 stylists, $160 million in lifetime volume. Personally, I was recognized as a top enroller last year, but I do not say any of this to brag because really what this has to do with my training is kind of where I came from scratch, you guys. This was my first company and I had like 200 Facebook friends. So I was not saying all that to be like annoying, but I just kind of want to tell you guys like that is where I am now. And we're going to talk about how some of my top tips with how I kind of got there. And it really started with like learning how to build my network and connect with people. So hey from New Jersey, I'm in Ohio. Kind of ignore my background here. I'm actually in the middle of moving, so we're like taking things off the walls, patching it up and stuff like that. But thanks for joining me. I know there's like weird different time zones. This is actually like close to my bedtime in the Eastern time zone. I don't know if there's anyone here. I'm in Central Ohio. Okay, so I'm just going to jump on since I am sure most people are going to watch the replay anyways. I think I broke it down to like 5 top tips for growing your network. And I like to do that because it's kind of easy if you guys like decide to take notes from it and we can kind of expand a little. Okay, so we're talking about how it's possible to like you join this company or you've been here for a while and you feel like I'm not meeting new people. Like I need new people to try my product, buy my product, host a party, join my team. Like that's, you know, kind of the foundation of this business. So how do we do it? And the biggest thing, one of the number one, and it seems kind of simple, but it's not, is I had to like realize that social media for me had to be social and I had to make it like the decision that it is for my business. So there came a point where I had to make a decision, right? Where I'm like, okay, let me focus on one platform first, and we're going to perfect that platform. I always say your Facebook personal page should be that first platform because you want, it's like your warm market generator. It's the easiest to learn. So like before you kind of go off anywhere else, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, we have like a great place right here, personal Facebook profile. But you have to make it public. And that's what I mean. I had to make that decision like, okay, I am going to use this to meet new people and it's going to be specifically for my business. So I want everyone to be able to see it. Now, I know some people struggle because they want to keep certain things private. I know we have people on my team that dealt with that. So what they've done is like you can change settings on post, or if you want to just like post pictures of your kids, maybe make a little group for like family members and that's where you do it. But you want to like go with a mindset that this is for my business and I just need to grow and network and meet people. So the first thing you want to make sure is that you have the best picture of yourself as your profile picture. That is how people know who you are. I know like some people like love like their dog but you know when you're like connecting with new people, they want to be able to put a face to the name, to the awesome content. So having a really good recognizable picture, it does not have to be like glamour shots, but something to where someone can see like just who you are. And then you're going to want that cover photo to be representative of something that's important to you, your brand in some type of way, not Color Street related, because a lot of times people can get turned off by that, so like mine personally is like a picture of my family, but you could do like a picture of your favorite quote. When I say brand, I'm not saying like you went out and like purchased a logo. We're going to kind of cover that. We're going to talk about like what that specifically means whenever I'm saying brand, because That's a big part on what's going to draw people to you, is kind of figuring out what that is. And then you're going to want to be very intentional with your posts. Now, I remember I get like embarrassed when I look back on my Facebook posts from like 10 years ago, even like 3 years ago. Like I literally would post like any thought that came to mind, or something that was just really offensive, or what I was eating to that day. That is not what we want to be doing on social media now. We want to make it more like daily posts, like valuable content that people are either going to laugh or make them feel those warm and fuzzy things, make them think of you. And then like you're going to want to sprinkle in Color Street and how you can do that. It's so easy. Like you obviously, anything you're holding, you can show off your nails, or you can talk about how busy hot mess mom, but I was able to do this mani in my car line. So we're talking about showing Color Street without like being so blatant and like we call like spammy pammy about it. Or just, and I'm going to go over a little bit more, like just when you're live, like you can be like telling a story of something funny that happened, but be like putting on a nail set. You know what I mean? Like, so you're showing it without like being so in your face. And because you're going to want to establish why people are connected to you. And like what that happens is when you're sharing that valuable content, your page is public, like people are going to be able to comment on that and share, and like strangers, you're going to pop up in their feed and anyone's going to be able to see your stuff. So that kind of gets you connected to, more people. So my second tip is, obviously we talked about like you want to establish what your brand is, and that's when I talked like something that helps you find your niche, like the people that you want to connect to. Like, who do I want, who do I want on my team? Who do I want in my life, and that can be so many different things. So for an example, like for me, I want people that are overcomers, hard workers. A lot of my friends are moms with lots of kids. I was a military brat. Like I can think of so many different things, but you're also going to want to find that like new people. So like you want to join groups on Facebook that have to do with those. Like if you are a biker, like if you're biking or spin class, join those groups. Or if you're into weight loss, or if you are a homeschool mom, or if you're a dog mom, or, IVF, or whatever support group or addiction support group, or whatever, like something that it means something to you and represents some part of your brand. You're now joining those Facebook groups and you are making friends. If anyone knows my story, a couple years ago, I actually did have weight loss surgery, and I just joined a bunch of bariatric groups. And just from like being vulnerable, making friends in those groups, like Facebook friend, like, hey, we're friends now, and talking to them, like they ended up joining my Color Street team because they saw me sprinkle, talking about my business. Well, what is it that you do? How were you able to pay for a surgery for cash? Like, you can sprinkle your business in conversations without being like so spammy. And you see how it connects. Like I didn't join those groups to like sell Color Street, but I can always find a way to bring back Color Street in my life, and how I show it in my profile. Like people will know what I'm doing in some way, because I do like make sure I always sneak it in there. But I'm meeting new friends. Like, oh my gosh, you're able to stay at home with your kids. Like, what do you do? Like, oh, I actually do this. And like, so you're making all these friends in these new groups, which is, like I said, the purpose is like you're growing your network by having similarities that like are attracted to your brand, like your niche, your group. So you're also always, when you make friends, you voice message them. I love voice messaging. It's a great tool. It's really fast and efficient. People get to hear like your excitement always, like when it's someone's birthday. And it's the same, like when someone's like, you're up late at night and scrolling, make sure you're commenting, not Color Street. If they're your Color Street friend, I mean, obviously you can like it and stuff, but we're talking about the people on your newsfeed that haven't bought from you yet or haven't joined your team yet. Like you want to make sure you're always on their mind. So like comment on their stuff, like a sentence or whatever, or like send them a message just like that you were thinking of them. And now your stuff is going to start to be shown a lot more. And then it's like they're slowly, again, like we're always going to talk about like funneling into your network. a big thing, my next one, number 3, is going to be, obviously, like I talk about this a lot, and I used to do it a lot, more than I do now, is just going live on your personal page so people get to know your personality. And I'm going to talk about like going live and sharing your story, why you're doing what you're doing, what your goals are, be vulnerable, be authentic. People on my team will hear me talk a lot about that, like, you know, that true authenticity, like that just people just know, you know, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you, and you're going to find your people. You're going to find your tribe, and people are so much more connected to those people than people that are just posting like made graphics, like $129, join my team, 72 accent nails. Like, they want to know what you were able to do or what you're trying to do. And that's how I know, like, I've been able to enroll the way I have, because I've shared my story and I've reached out to other people and talked like what this could do for them, like really do for them, not like what we, you know, say or what's in the kit, or, you know, jumpstart, like what this really could do. Like, and people want this to do different things, and just always keeping that in mind. Like, someone may just want to have friends, or someone may just want to have a sense of purpose or a sisterhood. And like, but you'll only know that when you're actually getting to know and like talking to people. And you know that by like getting to like, okay, I met them in this group, because it's not, there's no like cookie cutter way to like recruit and enroll and find new people. You're just always needing new people. And that's why like social media is really meant to be social, and having to change that mindset on like, no, this is private. Like, no, I need to meet people. That's how I make my money. So like going alive is a big thing. My 4th way that I feel, and obviously that I've got more customers and people join my team, obviously we're going to say nail bars, parties. You want to make sure that you're always doing those. We are a party plan company, and just making sure that you are friend requesting all those people. You're making friends. Always think on how I can make friends. Your profile is set to public. So honestly, like when you get to a certain part, like like my friends list is really intentional now. Like I can't add 5,000 Color Street stylists. I'm thinking of who I could add that will want to be a customer or join my team. So when someone sends me a friend request, if I don't accept it, now they're following me so they can see my stuff. And that's just like a setting you can do. But always having I always send friend requests to everyone in my nail bars, even if they don't buy, but especially, and then you always start a conversation, like send a picture of them in the envelope when you're mailing out their sample, or like checking up to see if they got the order from the party, or, hey, I know you didn't order, you know, is there reason, like start some type of conversation with these people. And like I've had people to not purchase at a party, and then like in a few months either end up buying, hosting, or joining, because like I just made that little extra effort. So always do that. Parties is the foundation of our business. And then another way to kind of go off that is that I've learned like using my Facebook stories is so good, because I have people that have never ever commented on anything I've ever posted respond to like polls in my story. Like say when we have this hostess incentive, like I posted it in my stories, and I'm like, who wants to earn this for free, like with a poll, and like people said yes on there. And then like now I have parties booked, or like posting nail fees and like asking people to rate them, people that have showed no interest before. Oh my gosh, like, hey, I saw you liked that mani, and just like messaging them and like being like, can I send you a sample, or, you know, based off that. But on the flip side, make sure that you're watching people's stories and also responding to them. Like they're obviously posted there because they want you to see. So, and then again, that opens that communication. And now Facebook is going to think you have some type of relationship, and now you're going to be more visible to them. And you're just going to, it's like, always trying to make sure like that you're on their mind in some way, that when someone thinks of something, they think of you. And you should have like at least 3 words that like you want to represent for people. And my 5th way, number 5 now for growing your network. And this is a big one, is just always asking for referrals. Like, and this is like, and they don't even have to have tried the product, like your car salesman, accountant, everyone, like make sure you're leaving business cards for, out. I've gotten, again, random people to join. I've gotten people I did not know to join my team or buy a customer from like the lady that does my taxes, handing out my information to someone. I always, whenever those little boards with business cards, I always hang my business cards up there, making those relationships with people that do my hair, anybody. And just whenever you like have a customer, I always send them a handwritten thank you note, and I tell them like, referrals are so important. Make sure I send them a sample that they can give to someone, remembering about the referrals. And also within that tip number 5, like a subset of it, because this has been like, I think when people ask me like, Brittany, how do you recruit so well? It's because I am a follow-up like queen. I know this says nap queen, but you could put follow-up too. I do love naps, but like following up is so crucial and critical to my business. And like my mentor says, like, follow up until you see like get a restraining order. And I have not gotten a restraining order, but literally like, and people ask like follow-up systems, you can do anything. You can write their name down in a notebook. I like to add their information to a jot form and like have an Excel and see when the last time I followed up with them. Because here's the thing, like, if you've seen like these 5 tips, something that I've kept saying, like a common theme, you want to make sure that you're the person in their mind when it comes to Color Street at the end of the day. And so if I'm following up with them and it doesn't, and like, you guys, if you have people that have been on the fence and if you have not followed up with them after all the cool announcements, amazing announcements that are ready to run, then you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Any event, any type of announcement, being able to reach out to people and tell them about the extra cool stuff of Circle of Excellence, the amazing stuff coming this year. Anytime we have a launch, anyone that's been on the fence, any great host, this is an awesome reason to follow up with them. Like, hey, I know you had a great party, or hey, I know you were interested, but let me tell you, instead of you keep spending so much money buying strips, like, I know you're going to love all these sets, like, this is just the time to sign up. Or talking about ready to rank, but you just want to make sure that, and if someone straight up tells you, like, no, like, I'm just not interested, again, there is a way to follow up. You would just, give it a little bit longer and be like, hey, so I know you said no. Like, I always like revert back to like, okay, so I know you said you weren't interested in signing up, but we have this new collection. I know you love the product. Would you like to be a host for me? And a lot of times they say yes. Or, hey, I know you're not interested, but my company just launched this Ready to Rank program where you're getting this extra cash bonus for hitting ranks, and like you can get up to like this much money, whatever, think of a rank, whatever be in their mind. Like, do you know someone that like could use like an extra like $1,000 bonus? And then a lot of times it might be like, makes them think about it. And I've had people like, and you don't want to use like, I'm not like one for templates, like be yourself, however you would say it. But like I always say, like I can get more people to close when I use voice messaging, or if I can just set up a FaceTime real quick because I show them myself. I'm showing them myself. They know like I'm not doing a copy and paste, because honestly, like that's annoying to people. They can tell if it's not your words. You just want to like, yep, you're the one. Like when they think exactly, Elizabeth, you want to make sure that you're just always the one in the forefront of their mind. And so I just want to recap real quick the 5 things I told you, and you guys, can kind of, we talked about like realizing that social media is meant to be social. Make sure that Facebook profile is on point, good picture, make sure you know that you're offering valuable content, and then just sprinkling Color Street in. Also, like make sure that bio is something like curiosity. You just don't want your profile. I remember before I joined, a company, like it was weird. Like when I would look at someone, like someone would leave like a funny comment on like a news station, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I think that's funny. That's someone that could be my friend. But then like it's like maybe a picture of like a health shake as their profile picture, and their background's like $9.99 monthly special. And then I'm like, oh no, I do not want to be friends with this person. Just think of like how you would think. You know what I mean? I love it. It's so cool when we get super, super excited. And I don't think, I love Color Street. But you can look at my profile and take a glance that I'm not like, I want to be able to tell people my own experience with Color Street. I don't want them to look at my profile and then like go off and Google it and maybe find one bad review and then just base everything off of that. Like I want them to get their, you know, Color Street information from me, you know, Brittany's way. So that's why I always say that. The number 2 was figuring out your brand, you know, the 3 things that, 3, people say 3, some people say 5, that like kind of represent you, what you want people to think of. And then using, you know, joining Facebook groups and making friends that have to do with that. Make sure like, you know, you're messaging people, commenting on their stuff, and getting those people in your network that way. Number 3, we talked about going... No, I have a VIP group, Melissa, but my personal like profile is how I get more people to join it. So like obviously like my VIP group is like strictly for Color Street. Like, so I like, but how I always want to get new people is using my personal Facebook profile. So like that's why you'll see sometimes like if I make a post like that is more about Color Street, like in the comment, I'll be like, hey, join, and then I'll put my VIP group name, you know, and that's why you're going to like see, it's more like a commercial. And then if they want like all about Color Street and sprinkled lifetime stuff, then they'll join my VIP. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but I do use a VIP. I don't like flat out like post a link. Exactly, Elizabeth. Like your VIP is your store, but my personal page is my billboard that I'm trying to get more people to look at and then like show them into my store. Like it's like my storefront, I guess you could say, if that's right. So yeah. And then number 1, 2, 3 was you just want to go live regularly, pretty regularly, and sharing your story. And then also like just anything. If you have a funny thing that happens in the day, go live, put some nails on it, show people anytime you change your set. And this is on your personal page because listen, people in your VIP already know all about Color Street. So we're always talking about how you can grow. You always have to be continuously growing your network. Number 4 was doing those nail bars and using your Facebook stories. Friend request everybody in your nail bars always. And Facebook stories, you can just spam a lot, like the hell out of Color Street in your stories because they don't last there forever. And like do polls, and when people say yes and respond, and you know, make sure you put like always getting new people to get samples, or we have an opportunity group for our team, like making sure like posting like when I get paid like on Thursday, like, oh my gosh, one of my 4 paydays, and I'll post like the little email in my stories, like blur out how much I'm paid, like, would you like to get paid? And then I send them a message like, hey, you know, do you want to join our opportunity group? Stuff like that. And then number 5, referrals / follow up. So like always ask for referrals and always follow up with people. I am sure, and I can guarantee, because that was like, I always tell this story. Okay, so yeah, I was number 3 enroller in the whole company last year at conference. But when I signed up, I didn't have anyone sign up with me when I joined for like 6 months, right? It took me like 6 months to promote to senior stylist, you know, and now I'm a Ruby National. I did not follow up. I literally sent out all of my samples when I joined, and I just expected them to like knock on my door and tell me they were going to buy more. Like I just sent it all out. So like that was my lesson, because, you know, mistakes can be lessons. Is like, I am like, that's why referrals, follow up with people. And like literally if they are saying like, hey, I haven't tried it yet, be like, okay, cool. I know things get busy. I will follow up with you in a week. Let me tell you, when you put like that date on it, then they feel like the pressure. They're like, oh my gosh, I need to try this on before next Wednesday, because Brittany is going to, hey, Rachel is going to message me again, and I do not want to be embarrassed. Or I'll be like, just tell me, like, if you lost it and need me to send you another one. And I literally will say, because it's my personality, like, I will bother you until you tell me that you put that nail strip on. Like, I promise. Do you need me to drive over and help you? Like, that's just my personality, right? So, and again, like I said, be you, but you have to be, like, consistent about it. My business does so much better when I'm actually, like, consistently doing all of these things. And it's just like the end goal is just adding more people to your network that eventually they become customers, hostesses, and stuff. So, thank you so much for having me on. I hope these helped. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, or, you know, if I stay in here, just comment below and tag me and I'll respond. I hope it helps, and I will see you all soon.